You ever fallen off a boat any time in your life, Meshy?
I don't think I have.
Like not even a dinghy or inflatable? Or...
Oh, no, there was one time we had that Christmas party. I think you were still in charge.
Of Hodaki?
Yeah.
That wasn't, you didn't fall off that, you jumped off that.
No, there was an issue. No, there was an issue on top of the boat with the paddles being tipped on a certain... That was the worst thing that that's the worst crime that I've ever committed.
On a
boat was that beverage that was then poured onto Tracy Donaldson's head. No, I haven't fallen off a boat. What about you? Why do you ask? What's going on? Have you fallen off? Have you lost a kid?
I only asked because this morning someone fell off the ferry.
Oh, I did hear about this.
Yeah, someone fell off a ferry from the white privileged middle class enclave of Waiheke Island.
Yeah, okay.
To the CBD. And look, those around the rest of the country don't care, but if you've ever been on a ferry, it's very hard to fall off that fucking thing.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm really intrigued about how this person managed to fall off a ferry.
I'm scared what happens next, though, because health and safety this morning are going to be so jizzed up because now they've got a job to do.
And the reason I'm a bit pissed off is because basically all the ferries got called to then pick up the slack of Waiheke passengers who couldn't. They had to turn it back and go back to Waiheke.
Oh, so right, your Devonport ferry was inflicted with it.
3 of them were cancelled. I was like, fuck you, Waiheke guys. You got your locals fucking lane, the little locals only lane that they get into so they don't have to line up with local tourists at Waiheke.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, and they flash their little card and they walk past and I was like, I pay fucking rates in Auckland, you piece of shit.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I've never known that.
Yeah, they complained so much because they couldn't get on their own ferries. It
was like Fast Pass at Disneyland or whatever.
Tourists. Yeah, but it's a locals one.
What wonders?
I know.
I hate that. I think it might have been intentional.
See, what? Someone's trying to just end their life?
No, not end their life. I think they just had a tough day at work. I don't know. Coming in from
start work.
Well, no, they know that they've got a tough one incoming.
Oh, so that you're saying this is a preemptive strike.
I think they've just decided, not today.
There's a niggly meeting today.
Yeah.
They've been asked to bring a support person. He's like, fuck, how am I going to get out of
this? How
am I going to get out of this meeting? I've tried everything. How about I just biff myself off the side of the fez?
I've come into work a couple of times since starting at the ACC, a little bit dusty. And if I had the option to jump off the vessel that I was coming in on, I would have done so.
Really?
But I mean... Jumping into the middle of what is it out there? The Waitemata?
Yeah, no, it's the Hodaki Gulf out there.
Where's the Waitemata?
I think it's another body of water out the other side.
Okay, anyway, so the Hodaki Gulf, I don't know if that's the one you want to choose.
It was a little bit rough, but not that rough.
Is he okay? Is she okay? I'm assuming he.
I don't know.
It's a he, let's be honest.
They apparently plucked him out okay.
I swear to God, if every fucking handrail now on ferries are going to be 3.5 meters tall,
oh my God,
I'm going to look at. We're going to hunt this guy down.
Particularly if they fell off the top of the ferry as well, that it's going to be even nigglier.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway, that was my morning. Was just being bitter at some Waihetian.
Yeah. Hey, before we get this podcast underway, I just thought maybe we should, preface this episode with a bit of a let's go easy today.
Nah.
Yesterday,
why
there were some issues that we had around Anzac Day that we decided to voice. I don't know if they were necessary.
There wasn't issues. It was just some tweaks.
People might have mistook our takes on Anzac Day ceremonies for a lack of respect for the diggers.
No, absolutely not.
That could not be further from the truth.
I've been to Gallipoli 4 times.
4?
4 times I've been.
Okay, no, that's almost too many times.
Well, I was taking tours there. So I took tours there for 3 years and I went another time.
Fuck.
So I've been there. I've stayed the night there. I know how much it means. It was around sport and Anzac Day.
Yeah, that's right.
We're having a little bit of
that's right.
Have a discussion about. Anyway, let's not dig that hole again. Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the Agenda Podcast for Tuesday, the 29th of April.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Now, you're a young thruster there, Meshi. Let me introduce you to a new sport, which you'll be probably the only sport you'll be able to beat me at, and that is the sperm race. In America, they are now racing sperm. Have a listen to some of the commentary here.
Yes.
2, 1.
And the sperm are off.
2 entries.
Oh shit!
Oh my God!
So they have like a microscope.
Once they enter the chamber, we are live. This is enormous.
Shit.
Jimmy is off to the races. This might not even be close.
So they've got
Those
it's like a
years
microscopic
of
view
YouTube.
of 2
The
channels.
feminist
2 little channels with sperm going through them.
Jimmy is long gone.
Jimmy.
No, his swimmers aren't even on the screen.
So Jimmy's obviously...
This is a microscopic masterclass.
It's a microscopic masterclass, baby.
So Jimmy Spunk took it out.
I have so many questions around this.
This is something that should have happened during COVID.
Yeah.
I think it's wasted now because during COVID we were desperate for sport, we were desperate for anything, and I think this is kind of a bit probably 10 years too long gone. But anyway, how do you bet on it? That's what I know.
Congratulations to the Americans for coming up with this. I mean,
and Jimmy.
It feels like a European type thing to me. The sperm racing, these microscopic races. So the way that this works, if you haven't seen the video, go to the ACC social pipes and you can check it out. But the commentators are the only two that I believe have the ability to see the sperm.
How
does it even work?
It's on a screen. It's on a big screen.
Like, I don't want to take it too crude,
No,
but how do you masturbate into something and then they kind of extract that?
Yes.
Then put it into either. It's kind of two sides, isn't it?
They put it into some fluid.
Yeah.
And then
See how quick those fuckers can go.
In reality, I think
it's amazing stuff.
In reality, I think the race is only about 2 centimeters long. So that's and the spermies, and you can see them individually swimming.
Yeah.
So
how many do you get each? Do you get more than one?
There's millions of the things.
Let's be honest, G Lane. I'm going to have more sperm in my load than you will have in yours.
But I've proven more effective.
Yeah, no, okay, all right, mate. A bit defensive from you. Yeah, it's okay.
Listen, there's quite a few in there. I mean, look, just think about this for a second, Mesh. Every time you're in the shower having a suspiciously long shower, you're sending whole civilizations down the plug hole. You know? So just think about that next time, okay?
Well, what do you want me to think about? Think about the fact that I could be putting these in a jar and then racing them against yours.
Correct. And also think about who's going to clean that drain, okay?
Okay.
Who's going to be pouring the diesel down that drain to unblock it?
Yeah.
Now you're living with your girlfriend. There's a lot of hair in that drain now.
So, Jesus, it's so interesting you bring this up. We were talking about this just a couple of days ago. So much hair.
Hair plus jizz equals glue.
Well, I mean, just jizz alone in the shower. Warm water and jizz.
Yeah, I know, but then you've got hair now.
It's PVA.
Hair is like the rebar of construction.
I've got a paper mache down my plug hole at the moment.
Yeah, that's correct, because basically the long hair acts as the rebar, the semen acts as the cement, and you've got yourself a horrible... I mean, look, I've got a teenage son, coming out teenage son, and I've got daughters. It's an issue. It's concreted... sinkholes are an issue.
Yeah, are you going to have a conversation to your son, do you think? At some point?
I'm just going to I'm going to Costco and I'm buying like a 20-litre Drano and leaving it in the shower.
Do they share a shower with you guys? I imagine you live in
not with us.
Thank God.
The kids, he already takes suspiciously long showers. Like, banging on the door. I'm going, dude, get out of there.
How long do you shower for?
Minimum. In, out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting. So is there a future in this sport? What are we calling it? Is it just sperm racing?
I'm going to call bullshit on the actual footage because it's got single sperm running along. I don't know how they extracted single sperm. Like there's only a group of 5 sperm racing a group of other 5 sperm.
Okay.
I like the idea of it, but I think it might be slightly engineered.
Okay.
I think it might be.
I love the idea of it.
It is
If
there's potential in it, but only if you could punt on it.
I mean, God. It's like toad racing, when you go or wherever in Aussie, you just go anywhere and you go to a bar, like I don't know, some kind of rural bar. There's some different kind of animal being raced. I think here in NZ, if we had sperm racing to offer, people get off the cruise ships.
Yep,
they come up,
go to a little booth. Hey, speaking of which, speaking of errant sperm, our local public toilet in Hauraki Corner in the Countdown car park has been busted as a glory hole.
Wait, sorry.
And it ended up on the. You need to go to the Devonport Locals Facebook page. Now,
what is happening? This is great.
This is great stuff. This is great stuff because a local has posted on there. He's a builder, and he said, "Hey, I use these toilets." Here you go. Here it is. Here's the post. It says, "Hey, Hauraki locals, because it's Hauraki Corners just up the road. I'm a local tradie who uses these bathrooms." He's taken a photo of them. Every now and then.
Nice.
I've now had 2 separate occasions where there have been 2 men, both facing the middle separation wall between the bathroom cubicles, making noises and using the hole. I know this hole has been patched up in the past, but they keep breaking the hole once it's patched up. Not sure where I'm going with this, but it's disgusting in there. There are yuck stains down the side of both holes. Kids use these bathrooms. And it's not on.
No, it's not.
How do we get the problem solved? And mate, the comments are fucking hilarious because there are people going, "What do you mean? Like, just people don't know what a glory hole is.
Yeah.
To people then just tagging their mates and going at Finn Caddie.
There's a whole bunch of G lanes.
Busted, bro. And so you got to think of it. It's like.
So is that the way that one works? Is there's a hole in the wall between the two cubicles? Yes.
But this one is outstanding because it's a cinder block wall. So
we're talking.
So it's a lot of work to get through that wall.
When does that glory hole become cottaging? I always get confused around this.
That's a mixture of. That's because cottaging is.
It's some kind of hybrid.
It is. It's a cottage hole.
Don't tell the younger generations about this, mate, because this will be all over socials before you know it.
It's a cottage hole. That's what it is. Anyway, that's high drama. High drama.
Can you keep us posted on the cottage hole over there in Devonport? Or
I will.
The Hauraki Countdown or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the Hauraki Corner Countdown. I will keep you.
I know that countdown, yeah.
Yes, and the toilet there. Here's the toilet. Here's the picture of the toilet. And then someone
nice bathroom.
In the comments, this is the Hauraki Corner's residence page, but on the comments, someone's actually gone in and took a photo of the hole. It's pretty manky. The hole's pretty manky. But I'm going to have to admit.
Is it a big hole?
You're going to have to be packing heat to be able to get through to the other side. That's
that was my follow-up question, because if you've got a cinder block,
it's a lot,
down the middle, you need some serious length to get
or
through.
The hole's quite big, so you can actually probably reach the arm through.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't actually doing that. But anyway, it's pretty funny, and there's a lot of people saying, oh my God, I thought glory holes were just a myth. And it's like, they were never a myth. Anyway, and then someone else has taken a photo. I've got to get these photos. Someone else has taken a photo of the two cubicles and two pairs of feet facing each other.
Oh, yeah.
So someone's gone in there. But one dude's on his tippy toes because he can't quite get his piece through the hole. And here's a comment under that photo there's a comment under this photo going, who's the biggest sicko? Someone who takes a photo of dudes doing it or dudes whacking each other up in the toilet. And everyone's just come back with like copying in mates at Joe Jury, busted, bro, all this. It's what brings communities together, okay? It's great stuff, the Hauraki Corner residents.
That brings me so much joy. Yeah, we're going to have to come back to that at some point.
Yeah, well, I'll give you an update on that. I'll try and source the photos of the person on their tippy toes. It's pretty funny.
There's going to have to be a sign at some point made.
You can't, yeah. Kids use these toilets. No, they don't. I have never seen kids in there, and I've never seen my kids into a cinder block toilet in the car park of a countdown.
Have we ever done some kind of... I've always dreamed of a situation where there's like an app or some kind of service where you can just put in... It just, when you fire it up, it has your current location.
Yes.
And then your kind of nearest glory hole.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not necessarily for me. I'm not really into that yet.
It may be any hole's a goal. That could be
that could be the name of the app. Okay, something to think about. But the Hauraki Countdown Corner is going to be the first one.
I'm sure there is. Actually, you know what? I'm sure there is. And if you're in the cottaging, glory hole, dogging scene,
realm,
I'm pretty sure they've got a group.
Okay, reach out.
Or they've got some sort of communication portal. I mean, you'd have to go on Grindr, I guess, would probably be the best.
Yeah, okay. I'll do some research.
And I'd say if someone says, I'll meet you in the Hauraki Corner Countdown toilets, you know what's on.
Yeah.
That is some glory hole action. Look, on the topic of young sperm, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with some pretty interesting news out of the IPL, with a 14-year-old who hit 100, the second fastest 100 in IPL history. So we'll talk about that in just a sec. Okay. Vaibhav Suryanvanshi,
great name,
has become the youngest ever to hit a senior T20 century at 14 years and 32 days old. So he's only just turned 14. And he powered the Rajasthan Royals' successful run chase. They chased over 200. He scored his 100 in like 33 balls. He's the second fastest IPL 100 behind the universe boss, Chris Gale, at 14 years and 32 days. He hit 11 sixes. I mean,
am I going to say what we're all thinking?
Yeah, I want to see a passport.
Yeah, bullshit.
I want to see a legit passport.
This is unreal. Because we're getting to the point now at 14. I mean, records just keep getting younger. I always wonder at what point are we going to hit sporting records where no one can get any younger. The same thing's happening in football right now.
I mean, is it a guess, his age?
I think it might be.
Because he's a big dude. I suppose you can get big 14-year-olds.
14 is
11
not,
sixes at an international stadium of international bowlers.
Fucked.
It's
absurd that someone can do that.
This kid is rich now.
I mean, do you remember?
He is so loaded.
Do you remember being 14 G Lane and what you were capable of? Fuck all. No offense.
I've almost
fuck all.
I've got one in almost got one in my house. He can't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
So let alone
And there's this kid taking on 140 clicks an hour,
Yes.
pumping them over cow.
for 11 times he
Yeah,
hit
no,
sixes,
that's nuts.
and he hit the second fastest IPL. Oh look, he may well be just a freak of nature.
So is he an Indian boy?
Yeah, and so he is
Sweet.
going to be rich as hell.
Yeah.
Surav Nashi, look out for him for the Rajasthan Royals.
Have you been across the IPL this year? I
Nah,
have not really been at all, to be
The
honest.
timings are just terrible.
It sucks, eh?
The timing's too bad for us, and they don't care about us.
So-
It's not, the money's not with us. If you want to listen to something interesting, and I'll throw this out there, someone sent me a podcast. It's a podcast called Acquired, and they do a 3-hour special on the IPL.
Okay.
I think I mentioned it to James McCaney, but it went over his head. Have a listen to that, and it's
3 hours on the IPL, G
it's-
Lane.
It goes quickly. It's all about the start of the IPL. They touch on the ICL and the corruption and stuff that happened at the start. Lalit Modi, right till present day.
Oh, that actually does sound
and the
interesting.
valuation of it and how the business model works. It's fascinating.
Okay.
And all I'm going to tell you is this 14-year-old kid is set for life.
Yeah.
Because they love this kind of stuff in the IPL. He is the most marketable person on earth at 14 years, 32 days old. Fucking hell.
Yeah, something else. How are our boys going? Have we kept an eye on?
Yeah, Mumbai Indians. I've got Trent Bolt. He's gone back to Mumbai Indians, and Mitchell Satner's there as well.
How's he getting on? Do we know?
Good.
Yeah, he's doing okay. I know Trent is playing all right.
Trent is playing really well. And then obviously the Whakamana Express. Unfortunately for him, he got injured, so he's back in New Zealand now. But I think Glenn Phillips is over there pesting around,
Yep.
getting paid just to do some net bowling.
Yeah, there's a bit of that going on.
And a bit of net fielding.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But Trent, he ripped the heart out of a team last night. He got a three-fer. He
Yeah,
got
he's
3
something
wickets.
else.
He got 3 wickets in his first 10 balls. But a sport that this 14-year-old wouldn't be good at is, now this is something that's been happening for a while.
Yep.
Anyone who's like, and even in America, they have at college parties, on a beach, they have a game of run it straight.
Yeah.
And we've all played games of run it straight growing up. It's like bull rush.
Well, it's symbiotic with our culture. I think the way that we're raised here in NZ on it's a land of rugby.
Yes.
It's a land of an alpha type mentality at times, especially around when it comes to sport. I think it suits the way that we like to operate the game of run it straight, and it's been a big part of our society. I've been to many an island party where there's been, people running it straight. It works well. You can run it straight into anything as well, G Lane.
Yep.
You remember about a decade ago, people were running it straight into lampposts, I think. That was a bit of a social media thing going on.
And also running it straight into hedges.
Yeah, one of my personal favourites into real estate signs.
One of my favourite is into conifers.
Yep.
Have you ever run into, the conical plants?
Yes, I'm not familiar with myself doing that, but I can imagine you doing that.
I've had many a run-in with conifers.
Intentionally and unintentionally.
Yeah, anyway, so it's kind of reached a crescendo because in Aussie, there's a guys who have actually formalised the running it straight thing, and they've turned it into a kind of a live sport. It's called Run It.
Fantastic.
It's called the Run It Champions, so RUNIT, the Run It Champions League. And it's been going for a while in Aussie, and they're going to tour New Zealand soon. And some footage came out yesterday that has just upset the naysayers because a guy gets knocked the fuck out and he goes to full Dean Lonergan.
He's full Jesus.
He's full the Dean Lonergan.
The
zombie, he's reaching for Jesus. He's the Dean Lonergan legs.
Yeah.
And people are saying it's dangerous. People will die, blah, blah, blah. But look at the crowd. They fucking love it.
The crowd was going off like a snake in a
love
bag, mate. It was all on. I mean, we've talked about, I think it was you and Matty Heath came up with the idea of T1, which was this one ball game of cricket where a team has got one player and you face one ball and you bowl one ball.
Yeah.
And the reason we wanted to do that is because it's so much better to watch. It's so quick. You can run a whole World Cup in one day. Think of the tournaments that you could run in this sport. It works so well. A game of run it straight can last for what is short as a couple of minutes, if that.
They're coming to New Zealand in 4 weeks. So
Who's they? Can you talk me through this?
No. So basically, the Run It Championship League. So anyone can enter. You can go and enter.
So they do have there's a Run It Championship League.
Yeah, there is. And so they host inaugural tournaments. Melbourne. They had one on Melbourne on Wednesday. So with 8 people, including NRL and rugby league stars, competing for a grand prize of 20 grand Australian. So they come over to New Zealand on the 25th, and then they go to the States, Saudi Arabia, and England later in the year.
Yeah.
So they have a 20-metre run-up. It's 4 metres in width, which is known as the battlefield. And victory belongs to the one that dominates the collision.
Yeah.
So they have said that knocking out's not the goal.
Yep.
That's it's an unfortunate circumstance of running it into each other. But the crowd love it. I mean, and people will complain. Some neuroscientists come out and they've panicked, fucking saying these brain injuries, this new sport set to come to New Zealand, touted as a new combat sport. Thing is, look at the UFC.
Oh,
Look at the UFC.
yeah.
Potentially one of the biggest combat sports in the world. They knock the fuck out of each other with flying back heels.
That's right.
And worse than this, way worse than a dude looking at Jesus from basically kind of running it straight.
I agree. I think you're going to have to be careful about banning sports like this, seriously, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up with some kind of fight clubby underground league.
It happens anyway at every high school.
And and if you have it like this officially, then you can have a couple Lambos on standby, ready to go, ready to put a couple of people in the bag if they are reaching for Jesus, like this poor bloke was. It's interesting, isn't it? The whole.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
And if you don't like it, don't enter it, I guess. I mean, I don't really love watching people get knocked out either. It's not my cup of tea.
But look,
but I can see why people get fucking fizzed up about it.
But the Run It guys said they all wear mouth guards, and you're allowed to wear headgear if you want, because the idea is not to knock them out. The idea is to run them over.
That's how you win, right?
Yeah.
You're the one that moves forward. Yeah.
Yeah, you dominate the collision. So heaps of NRL stars are doing it.
Like who? Any good names in there or no?
George Burgess.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
He took on Nemani Ndolo on Wednesday night in Melbourne.
Fuck that.
So George Burgess. But have you seen the size of Ndolo?
Yeah, but my question is what? Like, just
run it straight.
Normal people are just going at, like, the general public are taking on a Burgess brother here.
So I'm trying to work out how Run It Straight
Are there
works.
divisions?
Because I thought with Run It Straight, one person's tackling, one person's running. Do you flip a coin? You must flip a coin and then decide, because you both can't go down for the tackle, because then you're just going to run into each other's leg.
And is there a ball? Is there a ball involved?
Yes, one of them always has a ball.
One of them has the ball. Okay, so he's the ball carrier, and the other person is the tackler, obviously.
Do you get one each or some shit? How does this work? We're going to have to find out. I mean, I can. It's my job now, I suppose, to find these things out. I can reach out to these guys, and we'll see if we can have a bit of a chat about this, because this is interesting.
Yeah.
So where are they coming here in
I'm
NZ?
say they're coming to Auckland on the 25th of May. We need to get out there and do it. International Run It.
Oh, I'm not fucking doing shit.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'll do it?
Yep.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose.
Not against Ndolo, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking. Is there kind of weight classes?
There must be. Or is it just an open weight grade? I don't know. We need to get out there and do it. Poor technical technique puts both the tackler and the ball carrier at risk of... so ACC have weighed in on it. So is New Zealand Rugby League and New Zealand Rugby.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
They're probably because they're getting more people to a Run It Straight event than a blues game. No, it's not a lie. This is going to go off like a frog in a sock, man, when it comes to Auckland.
It's such an easy, effective way to run a tournament, though. Like, it's kind of reminds me of what's going on with the money champs at the moment. Is any kind of, I don't know, sport like this. It just works because it's so easy to consume and it's so easy to watch.
Well, everyone knows it. It's like commercialising Bull Rush.
I mean,
the Bull Rush is a bit complex because it's a bit boring. But Run It Straight, so straight to action. What do you like to see? Cunts getting smashed.
It's not that far away from jousting, is it really? Or something of the like.
When is the biggest cheer at the Warriors?
True that.
When someone gets put on their ass. Someone gets gagooshed on their ass.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Is they've compacted it down to a series of gagooshkas over and over again. So there you go.
We're going to have to. I'll find out some details on how that gets scored, who carries the ball, that type of thing, because I think that would be quite interesting.
I think so. Before we go out there on the 25th of May, we'll tell you the details of it because I think we're going to be there with bells on. And I'll only do it if I get to run it straight at Steven McIvor.
Okay, you got that on the list. Joe Jerry, clip that up, send it to the right people. And
Steven McIvor, I'll run it straight at you. That's my only...
If you just look down the camera.
Okay,
I'm not
Steven McIvor.
Yeah, that's sweet. Steven McIvor, just jotting that down.
Okay, here we go.
Sweet. Okay, cool. I'll reach out to him and we'll try and tee that up. I don't know if he's going to be as excited about it as maybe you are. But that's totes fine. I mean, this is an even better way. You know how you got the charity boxing and all that kind of stuff. This is how we should really be settling these things. Is people don't. Let's not make it too much about the people. It's just about a hit. It's about a couple of freaks of nature coming together at pace and just exploding.
You've seen the inspired unemployed guys.
Yes.
Get absolutely fucked up by a
DMAC.
Yeah,
that was Damien McKenzie. Let alone fucking a Burgess brother, mate.
So these content losers have been doing it for ages. It's just filming themselves getting fucked up by rugby players.
I mean, it's good watching.
It is good watching. That's why it's popular. Hey, last chance to join us in Texas. If you haven't already, what the hell are you doing? You're obviously listening on your phone or you're near your phone. Text Ultra to 3236. Follow the link and you could join us for the Export Ultra Beer Garden Tour to Texas with myself, Mania, Jeremy Wells, and also for 7 days. Includes Austin City Limits, which is one of America's biggest music festivals.
Good.
It's going to be loose as a goose. So you've only got another 4 days to get in that draw. You can enter as many times as you want. Fill your boots. We'll take a quick break. Have we got any yours, please? No yours, pleases today. That's very slack from all of you.
Well, we actually do have we had a couple, but I think they might have been around. The Anzac takes from yesterday, and we've already kind of
we've addressed that.
We've addressed that.
Look, that is yeah. Okay, I didn't realise that. Apologies. I'll go into the toilet and flog myself. But anyway, we'll knock it on the head. Back tomorrow, Matt Heath is going to join us because we're going to dive deep into the Savannah Bananas. You know the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah, what are the Savannah Bananas? No, I'm not super familiar, but I can see it written here on my run sheet.
But no, when I mention it, you'll know about it. You would have seen social media footage of a pitcher about to pitch a ball and then goes up into the pitcher and then the rest of the team start dancing in a corrugated dance move. They are the Savannah Bananas.
Right.
And it's now a brand that's going to be potentially worth over $1 billion. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'll go deep. Heath will hate it because he's a Dodgers fan. He's a baseball fan. He will hate the Savannah Bananas. But there is some method to their madness, and that's why they are going to be worth billions of dollars, and they're starting their own league in 2026.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Also, just before we go as well, I received a text yesterday from the inside from Auckland FC. We were concerned about the fact that no one was making any kind of money after winning the A-League.
Yep.
Turns out, not the case. The players are looked after quite fine. Oh, apparently
by the owner.
Yes,
not by the A-League.
But that's right. The A-League are not paying the club anything. So wanted to clarify that the players they're quite stoked with the win.
And you know what? I just on that, there was an article saying that they ended up at Danny Doolan's.
Yes,
great stuff.
Yeah,
that's great. And you can do what you want. Like I was saying, the recommendation I gave to the White Ferns. You've won a championship. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You've got basically a hall pass, and they used that hall pass, and they all ended up at the only place, the rock bottom of Auckland nightlife, Danny Doolan's.
That's right. And the key to their one was, before we go, was they did it on the day. So there's just no issues.
Because no one's going to pull you up.
Not one person is pulling you up. I saw they went to Hotel Ponsonby for a bit, and then they fucked off down to Danny Doolan's. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. When we ran
the management went to Andiamo. It's like
I did hear that.
Parents went to Andiamo, and all the kids went to Danny Doolan's.
Yeah, I was talking to Borry, and he was saying that they separated. Because I thought that was the right thing to do.
And then met up with them again at Danny Doolan's, which is a terrible thing to do.
Oh, just with a whole bunch of people that have been spending their evenings in the Deloitte building with a bunch of checkered shirts and a couple of puffer vests.
Danny Doolan's on a Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night too.
Hopefully they stayed open for them.
They do stay open, Danny Doolan's, quite late on a Sunday night. I remember that from Pie Awards at some point.
Was it a Sunday?
I don't know.
That's aggressive.
Hey, one last thing before we go.
Yes,
do you want to know who the bowling attack was for Rajasthan that this 14-year-old hit 100 off?
Yeah.
Mohammad Siraj.
Yep.
Indian bowler.
Ishant Sharma.
Yeah.
Indian Washington Sundar.
Indian test bowler.
And Rishad Khan.
Indian test bowler. Holy shit.
Wait, the Afghani, or was it?
That's the Afghani.
Rashid Khan,
He hit the Afghani for 30 off one over.
Oh, my God.
I think it was like
match fixing.
3 6s, 3 4s. Is that? Oh, geez, that's a hot take. Was that live? Did you throw that out live?
Was that just in our ears, or was that did the listener hear that? Because you might want to be careful. We're going to find out.
Someone suggested you can't do that. You can't manipulate a guy getting 100 off 33 balls.
That's absolutely absurd. How
many times has he dropped?
Oh, that's something we should look at.
We should look at. Was it chanceless?
Has he been put down in the court 3 or 4 times? I think you were saying at one point that you were talking to Daniel Vittori, and he was saying once in India they find out how to, I don't know, usher the talent that they have there through in the right ways, they are going to be unbeatable because they've got so much talent over there. They just can't quite figure out how to best process it all.
Well, for a long time, it was all a class system, so you could only ever play for India if you're in a certain class of citizen in a certain caste.
That makes sense to me.
Whereas opened up now, so it's like if you're good enough and
they'll find you.
Yeah, they'll find you and they'll put you in an IPL team. And Bumrah is a good example.
Yeah, the bum rush.
The bum rush. He was just, out the back of a village bowling heat.
Is that why he runs in the way that he does? About 4 steps,
yes,
and
he hyperextends.
And he does
like
the thing
his
with
elbow bends backwards. And
Yeah.
it's like a slingshot. It's like those ball throwers for dogs.
That is what it's like,
That's what his arm is. That's how his arm works. And John Wright, we can blame it on a New Zealander. He found him. He discovered him in his village. He was like, Jesus Christ, that boy can bowl off 3 paces in a back alley.
Imagine seeing that for the first time.
You'd be like, whoa.
It just kind of trots on in and then...
Do that again? You go, whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I'm Shake Wright.
Oh, well, thanks for that.
Okay, well...
Keep those yours pleases coming through, please. We'll come back to some of those tomorrow.
Yeah, and apologies. We didn't
the Anzac Day. It wasn't our best work.
No.
Well, it wasn't our best work.
That was you.
Yeah, that wasn't my best work.
It was you. Okay, we'll catch you later. See you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.